Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Will. Um, I want to thank you for listening to this, the 12th episode of Sports Urban Legend. I'm your host, William Mamo. Um, you know, I'm feeling a little under the weather, right now, but, I felt like it was very important for me to do this episode because today is the 50th anniversary when the Jets surprised the sporting world by upsetting the Baltimore Colts exactly 50 years ago today. So I'm just gonna dive in quickly to the significance on a historical base, how it changed the world entirely. So if you like this video, please feel free to like it, subscribe to it, share it, comment on it, and also, feel free to hit that notification bell so you could be um, kept up to date with future episodes. With that said, like I mentioned, today is the 50th anniversary of Super Bowl III. Exactly 50 years ago today, January 12, 1969. The Jets started an amazing storm of improbable upsets in the sporting world. Um, yeah, for example, after they defeated the Oakland Raiders in the AFL title at Chase Stadium. 3 years prior to that fateful day, January 9, 1969, Joe Namath made the famous guarantee, which many other sporting teams would also take suit of that. You have the Rangers with Mark Messier making a guarantee that the Rangers would win the Stanley Cup in '94, and as you all know, he did. He brought the latest Super Bowl, Stanley Cup title that the Rangers have prior to 1940, and unfortunately, the Rangers haven't won a title ever since. And then, of course, infamously, Patrick Ewing. He made some guarantees that the Knicks would win the NBA title. Unfortunately, that didn't come to pass, and the Knicks are still waiting for their third title and the first title since 1973. So it's been 45 going on 46 years since the Knicks haven't won an NBA title. But but diving right back to the guarantee, Joe Namath was being heckled, after winning an award, and basically, someone was talking trash to him about how the Colts are going to whoop the Jets behind 3 days prior to Super Bowl III, and Namath was PO'd, and basically he told the guy that, basically that they're gonna beat the Colts, and he guarantees it. And after that, his coach Weeb Eubanks, the Hall of Famer, he basically was criticizing Namath, telling him that you don't need to put bulletin board material before the game, but Namath replied to him and said that he believed in their team, and that he's gonna prove it, basically, to paraphrase what he said. So sure enough, the Jets, they stunned the sporting world, the NFL world, by defeating the highly favored Baltimore Colts. Up until this point, the Super Bowl was an experiment, because the 2 years prior to that, the two previous Super Bowls, the Green Bay Packers, defeated, the AFL teams for the first two Super Bowls. So the mindset at that time was that the AFL was not the NFL league, literally and figuratively speaking. So, and I believe even Howard Cosell thought that they would whoop the Jets would lose by the score 68-0. So this was an improbable victory by any stretch of the imagination. So the Jets. Sure enough, the Jets won the game. Final score 16-7, and Jets, were on their way to their only Super Bowl title. And as a result, the following year, the NFL and the AFL merged, and that's why we have the NFC and the AFC as of right now. So, as we speak, the Jets haven't won an AFC title yet. As a result, they haven't went to the Super Bowl since that fateful day, exactly 50 years ago today. And as a result of that improbable comeback, basically, the later that year, the moon, man first walked on the moon. Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, they walked on the moon. Nobody expected that to happen. There was Woodstock later that year, which created a culture and music revolution. And then on the sporting side of it, you had the Mets shocking another Baltimore team, the Orioles, which was the best team in baseball at that time. They won the World Series in 1966, and again, another Baltimore player was talking trash to another New York team that didn't win a title. And up until this point, the Mets was a laughingstock of the league, losing 100 games several years in a row. But something different happened in 1968. They had they were starting to get their pitching. They had Tom Seaver and Kuzmin, and of course they got Gil Hodges, which basically changed the whole complexion of that team. And the following year, '69, they because of their pitching and their timely hitting, they won 100 games, which no one saw that coming. And ironically, to get back to that moon man walking on the moon point, Casey Stengel, the original Met manager and former Yankee manager during the 40s and 50s, he predicted jokingly that the year the Mets would win the World Series was ironically when man walked on the moon, and Casey Stengel was a prophet. That's exactly what happened. The Mets, after losing the first game of the World Series, they won the next 4 straight games and won their only World Series under the Gil Hodges tenure. And the last out of that game of the World Series was Davey Johnson, who would later manage the '86 Mets. So basically, and then afterwards in 1970, because the basketball season starts from '69 to '70, the Knicks were starting their championship run as well, and they shocked the Los Angeles Lakers and won their first NBA title in May 8th of 1970. So it was an amazing time to be a sports fan, especially of underdog teams. You had the Mets and the Mets, the Jets, and the Knicks all winning championships within the same calendar year. So it was an amazing time to be a sports fan, during that time. So basically, that's it. Congratulations on the Jets. They just hired Adam Gase, which I'll definitely talk more about that on my Sports Urban Legends show in a few hours at 11, Saturday at 11 on Block Talk Radio. Check that out. I'll dive into that. And of course, the Mets and the Yankees off-season moves as well. So check out that show. But that's it for this video for today right now. So if you like this video, please comment on it, like it, share it. Hit the notification button, and I'll see you guys next time. I'm William Ramo, and I'll see you guys very soon. Peace.